I don't know if you can see that. Made in China. So yeah, I was hoping this might have been manufactured in Taiwan, which is where many of the better bicycles are manufactured, but nah, this is a Chinese bike. That's all right though. I didn't pay much for it, so I wasn't really expecting that. So yeah, let's get to it here. So clean, dust, grease. We'll want to grease everything, like I said before. Let's see. Next, make sure nuts, bolts, screws are properly tightened and greased. Then check the cranks, grease the bottom bracket threads as required. I mentioned that earlier before about greasing a bottom bracket, whether it's needed or not, depending on your bike. You probably should do it anyway, honestly. Check the chain for dirt and then lube the chain. Yeah, of course, that makes sense. Check dropout and derailleur alignment. This bike is a single speed bike. It does not have derailleurs. Derailleur is just the shifting mechanism on the front and the rear shifting mechanisms. I don't need to worry about that. And then adjust and grease the hubs. So that would be the phase one. I'm just running through this quickly. Then phase two is installation. Install wheel, grease threads, and the quick release. I don't have quick releases on this bicycle. Check the wheels for tension and true the wheels if necessary. This is checking wheels for tension in the spokes and making sure the wheel spins straight. I'm not going to go in much detail on that right now. That's not exactly a beginner topic. So again, you probably want to have someone to do it that knows what they're doing. I know how to do it. It's easy to learn, but if you're not really certain, then of course, as a lot of people always suggest, take it to your local bike mechanic and they can do it for you for a fee. And then install handlebars. I'm going to do that here soon. Set up the brakes. The brakes are already, looks like they're installed on here. I'll need to adjust them, make sure they actually were installed correctly. Oil cables. A lot of this stuff I'm going through here, some of this is really opinion. I don't believe you should really need to oil cables. Some cables even really come with a coated cable housing, this black part here. The cable's inside this cable housing is what it's called. One thing I don't like about this bicycle is that it has this thing underneath here, so you have a housing and then the cable is exposed and then it goes back into the housing again. I sort of personally prefer, like on this bike back here, you might have been looking at in my videos, it just has a cable housing going all the way back to the back brake, and then it just has some clips holding it in place. It doesn't even have a thing built onto the frame to clip it for you. But I like that because then nothing is exposed to the elements and whatnot. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I'll leave it like it is the way now, but I might just use clips, you know, and run it on the top part of the tube. Right now it's running underneath because it's going through these holders or whatever you call them. Yeah, okay, set up the brakes. Then we'll install the saddle and grease the seat binder bolt and grease the seat tube post, or the seat post. So I don't have it in here yet, but you grease all that. You want a lot of grease on it, especially if it's like a steel frame and aluminum seat post, because they can really bind together and expose the elements. So you want to really, anything that needs to be greased, you should use lots of grease. Don't worry about using too much grease. Let's see, what else? Set up brakes, install saddle. Okay, install pedals. There aren't any pedals on here yet. Sorry, it's a little dark. I wish there was more light here. I'm trying my best though. Install pedals, grease pedal threads. That's very important. You need to grease a lot of things. You don't want things seizing on you. Inflate tires. I'm going to be going through, like I said, I'm installing this stock, and then I'm going to be replacing a lot of things on this bicycle, but I am going to keep the wheels and the frame and the fork, but I might be replacing a lot of other things down the line, including the crank and whatnot. And maybe I can do some videos on something like that in the future. Set up derailleurs, check derailleur housing caps. Again, that's more those are the shifters. This is about the easiest bike to assemble. There's no gearing on here to mess with. It's just single speed because that's all I need. Install reflectors. I would recommend that. It's required by law in a lot of places. Water bottle cages, lights, etc. Yeah, just put all your accessories on your bicycle as you see fit. Some people don't want to put anything on their bicycle. That's fine. And then lastly, phase 3 is fine tuning. So you go back and you check the gears and the shifters, make sure things are shifting properly. Check your brakes, make sure your brake pads aren't rubbing on your wheel rims. That'll wear down your rims real quickly, just as riding in the rain with rim brakes like these here that squeeze against your wheels versus disc brakes will wear down your rims quickly. You don't want that to happen, and it slows you down anyway. Check the saddle, like the saddle height and all that goes into bike fit, and then the stem. Just make sure your stem is set, and again it goes into bike fit. Different lengths in the stem, or for different people. In terms of it depends all on your body geometry really, and the bike geometry that works for you. For me, I'm an average build sort of guy, so I'm lucky. I'm not really tall and I'm not really short, and I'm a guy, so I'm really lucky in terms of I haven't been professionally fit for a bike. This is a side note again, but I've had pretty good luck just buying things online because I know sort of what the size is that I need. I use just a bike calculator online to figure out what would be the proper dimensions for instance, a stem length for me. But it also goes into the type of riding that you do. Do you like to ride fast and low, or slow and upright? What's comfortable for you, and what is your type of riding style? So that also plays into it as well. All right, so let's get this all assembled here, and then I'm gonna weigh it. I'll tell you how much it costs, and then I'll accessorize, and I'm gonna put all my stuff on it, and I'll weigh that, and then we'll see what it looks like in the end.